Imagine strolling through the vibrant streets of Tel Aviv on a sunny afternoon, the air buzzing with the usual mix of Hebrew chatter and honking taxis, when suddenly you hear a familiar lilt. Kumusta ka? Kamusta na? A warm greeting in Tagalog echoing from a park bench where an elderly Israeli couple chats animatedly with their caregiver. It's not just a conversation. It's a bridge between worlds. A hint that something extraordinary is happening in the heart of the Middle East. Could the melodic sounds of Filipino, Israel's newest linguistic import, really be carving out a spot as the unofficial second tongue in homes across the nation? Stick around as we dive into this unlikely love story of words and wanderers, where caregivers from distant islands are rewriting the soundtrack of daily life in Israel, and by the end, you might just find yourself humming a Pinoy tune while dreaming of hummus and halo halo. It all starts with a simple need. Israel's aging population, one of the fastest in the world, desperate for compassionate hands to care for grandparents, parents, and Holocaust survivors, whose stories deserve gentle ears. Enter the Filipinos, a wave of dedicated workers who began arriving in the 1980s, drawn by promises of steady jobs and salaries that could transform lives back home. Today, over 30,000 Filipinos call Israel home, making them the largest group of foreign caregivers in the country, outnumbering workers from Thailand or Eastern Europe in this vital role. Picture Maria, a soft-spoken nurse from Manila, who left her own family to tend to a 92-year-old Sabra named Ruth in Haifa. At first, words were a barrier. Ruth's Hebrew clashed with Maria's Tagalog. But soon, basic phrases like salamat, for thank you, and mahal kita, for I love you, slipped into their routine, turning awkward silences into shared laughter over cups of strong coffee. This isn't fiction. It's the daily reality for thousands, where Filipino becomes the language of trust in Israel's most intimate spaces, the living rooms and hospital beds where vulnerability reigns. Why Filipino? It's practical magic. As a standardized form of Tagalog, spoken by over 45 million as a first language and understood by most of the Philippines' 110 million people, it's straightforward, rhythmic, and easy to pick up in snippets. Plus, the Philippines' colonial history means nearly every Filipino speaks fluent English, making them instant communicators in Israel's multilingual mosaic, where Hebrew is official, Arabic holds equal status, and Russian, Amharic, and Yiddish swirl in the mix. But Tagalog? That's the wild card, sneaking in through sheer numbers and necessity. In bustling Tel Aviv, where 31,000 legal Filipino workers cluster around weekends of rest, entire neighborhoods pulse with it. Markets hawking lumpia alongside falafel. Parks alive with impromptu karaoke sessions belting out "My Way" under olive trees. Employers, once puzzled by the exotic syllables, now surprise their caregivers with "Magandang umaga." Good morning, learned from YouTube tutorials or family flashcards, a small victory that cements loyalty in a job where burnout looms large. This linguistic tango isn't new. It echoes a deeper bond forged in the shadows of history. Back in the 1930s, as Nazis hunted Jews across Europe, Philippine President Manuel Quezon flung open the doors, issuing 10,000 visas and sheltering 1,300 refugees in Marikina Valley, a gesture etched in stone at Israel's Open Doors Monument in Rishon LeZion. That act of kindness planted seeds of gratitude, blooming into today's workforce alliance. Fast forward to the 21st century, and Filipinos' footprint grows bolder. In Jerusalem's elder care homes, staff mix Hebrew commands with Tagalog endearments, creating a hybrid patois that families adopt without thinking. One viral story from 2023 tells of an Israeli grandma teaching her caregivers visiting niece Hebrew letters while learning to count to 10 in Filipino. Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Their giggles bridging oceans. But it's not all heartwarming montages. Challenges lurk like uninvited guests. Deportation fears have haunted the community since the early 2000s, when policies targeted illegal workers and their Israel-born kids, ripping families apart and silencing Tagalog echoes in playgrounds. In 2019, hundreds faced expulsion for daring to build lives. Their children, fluent in Hebrew, Tagalog, and the ache of limbo, pawns in debates over Israel's Jewish character. Yet resilience shines through, much like the Bahalana spirit that carries Filipinos through typhoons back home. Even amid 2025's tense skies, with Iranian missiles rattling windows and wounding 8 OFWs, most, 99%, choose to stay. Their Tagalog whispers a steady anchor for frightened wards. Why leave when your language has become the glue holding hearts together? Dive deeper into the cultural ripple, and you'll find Tagalog making inroads beyond bedrooms, as noted by linguists tracking immigrant tongues in Israel. Community centers in Netanya host free Tagalog crash courses for Israelis curious about their caregivers' worlds, while apps like Duolingo see spikes in Hebrew users tackling Filipino phrases. It's reciprocal. Filipinos devour Hebrew Ulpan classes, blending shalom with mabuhay in hybrid prayers at the Philippine Embassy's Sunday Masses, where 80% of the flock juggles 3 languages effortlessly. Food follows suit. Adobo nights in Haifa, homes introduce tangy flavors to Shabbat tables, and Filipino-Israeli fusion eateries sprout in Tel Aviv, menus boasting sisig shawarma that draw crowds eager to pair bites with basic banter in Tagalog. Kids born here, the second generation, grow up trilingual dynamos. Their playground taunts a mashup of Tagani and Lo that baffles and delights peers. This isn't dominance. Hebrew reigns supreme, with 90% fluency among citizens. But in the caregiving sector, Filipino edges out as the go-to for comfort, a soft counterpoint to Hebrew's crisp edges. Economically, it's a powerhouse. These workers remit billions home annually, fueling Philippine schools and dreams while bolstering Israel's social safety net, where 1 in 4 seniors relies on foreign help. Yet whispers of change stir. Could formal recognition follow? Petitions circulate for Tagalog in elder care training, arguing it boosts empathy and retention. In 2024, a pilot program in Beersheba tested bilingual shifts, with results showing happier patients and faster bonds. Stories abound of breakthroughs. A stroke survivor in Rehovot, mute in Hebrew frustration, unlocked memories via Tagalog songs from his caregiver's playlist, tears flowing as Dahil Sayo filled the room. Or take the Lopez family, migrants who converted to Judaism, weaving Tagalog psalms into their siddur, a testament to how language bends but never breaks in love's forge. Even in conflict's shadow, unity prevails. During June 2025's barrages, Filipino groups organized safe houses. Their Tagalog calls of mag-ingat ka, a lifeline amid sirens. As numbers swell, with 1,200 new jobs posted in 2022 alone, salaries hitting P80,000 monthly. Filipino's melody grows louder, not as a rival to Hebrew, but as its harmonious echo. In a land of ancient tongues revived from silence, this Austronesian newcomer reminds us, languages thrive not in isolation, but in the messy, beautiful dance of human connection. So next time you hear Po, the polite particle that turns statements into respect. Drifting from an Israeli balcony, smile knowing it's more than words. It's a promise kept, a history honored, and a future where Filipino isn't just spoken, but felt in every grateful heartbeat. Who knows? Maybe one day school kids in Jerusalem will recite Tagalog rhymes alongside Aleph Bet, turning "Ano po ang pangalan mo" into the question that unites us all.